Your continued support of the CoinSeries channel is much appreciated. Request from viewer is, who is your favorite CEO and who is the best coin for you? You can also comment your opinion. Thank you to all the subscribers of our CoinSeries who came to our channel CoinSeries. You will always be info with the latest CoinSeries news. Number 1, CEO Brad Garlinghouse XRP and Ripple. Number 2, CEO Grayscale SEC. Number 3, CEO JP Morgan Bitcoin. Number 4, CEO Brian Armstrong Coinbase. Please like my video and subscribe my channel. Earlier afternoon, the initial hearing for the Coinbase SDK case took place. What a fascinating event that was too. I will go over all you need to know about this lawsuit in this video since it will have a significant impact on the Bitcoin market. Watch this video in which I break down the case details, explain how Ripple and XRP were involved, discuss what this means for the future of the Ripple case, and finally, predict whether the SEC or Coinbase will come out on top. There were several unexpected turns in this case, and I will certain that you do not miss a single one. On the other hand, I'd like to wrap up the film by discussing the fate of the bull market. Bitcoin ting appeared to be on the upswing by the end of 2023. As Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were only beginning their journey and the stock market was setting new records, it seemed like the entire boom was coming to a standstill. In the video's last segment, I'd like to explain in depth what's causing this and why I still predict a huge bull market in 2024. Watch the entire video to witness it for yourself. Earlier morning, the Coinbase SEC lawsuit revealed all that could be viewed. So, let's jump into the video and discuss it thoroughly because it will impact the entire Bitcoin market. One thing first. The SEC essentially levied a barrage of accusations against Coinbase. In addition to being a broker and custodian for cryptocurrency exchanges, Coinbase also offers staking solutions and tokens. However, we will concentrate on the most crucial parts of the movie and the main points of contention. 13 additional cryptocurrencies were initially named in the SEC's accusations about the Coinbase lawsuit: Nexo, Solana Cardano, Polygon Filecoin, the Sandbox XE Infinity, Schiller's Flow ICP, and the Voyager Dash. To rephrase, the SEC effectively proclaimed that the tokens it had confiscated from the Coinbase exchange were securities after it had done so. Their compelling argument revealed the SEC's deep concern following the initial SEC case. In their opening remarks, the lawyers for the plaintiffs claimed that tokens do not constitute securities. Everything the SEC stated in their case against Ripple is contradicted by that. In that instance, they made it plain that XRP coin was the safety net they required to change their minds after seeing their original logic was flawed. A security token is not enough on its own. It was inevitable that the CC would concede that cryptocurrencies are not securities in this case. The ACC was immediately placed in a difficult position when they began suing Coinbase prior to the resolution of the Ripple SEC case. This forced them to quickly recant their prior claim that the tokens were securities and acknowledge that they weren't. After the case has been started, the SEC has tried to shift the focus by claiming they are securities due to their trading character. That is why they are still thought of as securities, even if they don't really meet the criteria. The judge just would not have approved of this, so pay attention. The cherry on top was that it was the central argument we were trying to advance. Under these conditions, the reasoning of the SEC has always eluded the court. In this case, she thought it especially confusing. She made it plain to the SEC that she does not understand the SEC's argument that Coinbase should have registered the tokens and that they are not securities. Overhearing the SEC, she learns that tokens are not considered securities. Sitting there, she thinks, in this case, what authority do you have to claim that these tokens are securities? We don't understand it, and she didn't either. Just like in their earlier instance, she could tell right away that the SEC was trying to influence the narrative. You heard it here first, this is XRP's first big victory. A court has reiterated its previous ruling that tokens are not securities and, more significantly, that the reasoning put forth by the SEC is perplexing. There has been repeated mention of this throughout the SEC Ripple. Even after 2 years, the SEC has failed to provide a convincing argument. They seem to be employing a similar tactic to introduce the Coinbase case as well. In my opinion, the judge has essentially conceded that the tokens cannot be argued as security, so they have triumphed in this matter. The initial significant event was that, concerning the question of whether the tokens constitute securities, the SEC has remained mute. Additionally, we need to address Coinbase. His critique of the SEC revealed his dishonesty towards Bitcoin, which I thought was a major advancement. Instead of saying it that way, Coinbase essentially spoke in a low voice to the SEC. The SEC's position on Bitcoin is something you, as a judge, should look into. Not long after that, the SEC publicly stated its belief that it had ruled that Bitcoin was not a security. Thus, it is evident that the court wanted to know what sets Bitcoin apart from other options. Just so you know, sirs, the SEC couldn't answer your query. I was completely engrossed with the Ripple SEC case for this very reason. The main distinctions among XRP, Ethereum, and Bitcoin have long been known to anyone who has been watching my show. Why is the SEC considering XRP a security when it is not Bitcoin or Ethereum? No one has ever responded to this question, even if it may have an answer. All of them are digital currencies. All of them are merely symbols, not securities, and neither the SEC nor anybody else could provide a satisfactory response to this matter. It remained a surprise to them why these other tokens were considered securities while Bitcoin was not. They completely messed up the most crucial unanswered question, in my opinion. By declaring that Bitcoin was not a security, the SEC put itself in a difficult position and opened itself up to criticism. Could you please explain the key differences between Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrency? They utterly failed to offer a convincing defense. It was a major mistake on their side. The SEC should reject XRP and other tokens like it based on the same reasoning they used to reject Bitcoin as a security token. This is their final big loss. There were a number of key reasons why the SEC was swiftly losing this lawsuit, which would affect the entire business. Our second discovery, which I mentioned briefly before, is that XRP is not a security if Bitcoin is not. Bridging that gap was never really justified by the SEC. In addition, there were several stake-related problems and a handful of minor victories. Short and sweet, the court found that SMECS's staking case was badly handled. Frankly, I'm perplexed. She stated unequivocally that staking did not constitute a security. Please pay attention, the FDIC is simply losing money at a frightening rate. I agree with Jeremy Hogan, who spoke out and expressed his views in writing, that the court is clearly biased in favor of Coinbase. She clearly did not consider the majority of Coinbase activities to be securities, based on her remarks. Also, she made it crystal apparent that lawmakers in the nation's capital are still debating the best way to govern this industry. Congress is making rulemaking efforts. Having said that, the SEC has declared the rules to be explicit. In what ways is it even possible? The most crucial point I had to make to you all was that this judge got it. Before the hearing started, our biggest concern was that the court would simply accept the SEC's side of the argument without considering the facts, or if they would consider the law and rule in their favor. Gentlemen, pay attention, this isn't a court that will just back SEC stances. Since she will apply existing rules to the interpretation of securities regulation, the tokens will not be deemed securities. Therefore, I think Coinbase will win their case against the SEC. Although the settlement may take a while, the SEC is highly unlikely to prevail. The case is likely to unfold similarly to the Ripple case. People are quick to speculate and propagate rumors based on their own assumptions about the future. This judge, though, will turn out to be astute as promised. She is perceptive of nuance. We will also learn that the SEC is pursuing legal action in this matter more out of speculation than any real understanding of what the law says. The SEC was arrested for evidence fabrication once again. Also, the Coinbase currency's justification is lacking in convincingness. Being securities. In my opinion, this is a huge victory for the cryptocurrency sector overall, and it will have a significant impact on XRP. After losing this action against Coinbase, the SEC will have little hope of winning the Ripple case on appeal because it will have lost its classification of the 13th coin as a security. Additionally, it will demonstrate that XRP is not and has never been a security. In the rippling SAIC case, it was our greatest triumph. Plus, all of you, it appears that other courts are agreeing with Judge Torres that XRP is not a security. The bull market and its demise is the last topic I'd want to touch on. In the days and weeks to come, more details on the coin's origins will surely be disclosed. Having said that, I believe that was the most crucial piece of information I could provide, but it's worthwhile to get back to the bull market. Many individuals are depending on outdated and erroneous inflation estimates because of the current bull market, in my opinion, even if many prominent media sources are offering false data. Although this is the Federal Reserve's objective, their data is consistently delayed. You may thank the Federal Reserve for the dramatic spike in inflation you've been seeing. They've switched to using this data source. Inflation has returned to its previous level of 3. The most current information is not reaching them. Reports from actual inflation indicate that inflation rates have recently dropped significantly. Despite market expectations that inflation will rise again, real-time data reveals that it is dropping and will soon approach zero. If inflation continues to decline, as predicted by the statistics, the market will come to terms with the fact that rate hikes are done and rate cuts are imminent. As a result, the value of assets like cryptocurrencies and equities, which are more susceptible to fluctuations in market sentiment, will need to rise. This bull market appears to be running strong far into 2024, proving that everyone was wrong about the inflation forecast. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have all enjoyed this update. There was a lot of ground to cover, and I apologize if it is disorganized. I just want you to have a good time. Please consider giving this video a like and subscribing for the time being if that's the case.